Okay, in this section of the module, we're going to look at floats. And looking at floats, which is a positioning property, we need to also look at the class attribute because it's really the best way to use the floats, or the easiest way. So the class attribute is like an ID tag, except with the class attribute, you can apply it to multiple things. And I actually don't think I went over that. I'm not sure. But with the ID tag, like you could apply ID main or header or footer only to one element, okay? If you tried to apply the ID header to multiple things on a page, you would actually get a lot of errors in your coding and it wouldn't work. But you can use class on multiple things. You could use the class footer on as many HTML elements as you want, and it would be okay. So the float property we'll look at in Dreamweaver, but just to cover what a class is, we're actually going to look at what the W3 school has to say in their example. I did put here the link for the W3 school for floats as well. It gets a little bit more into it than I think we need to, but essentially like the idea of a float is that you could use it to create columns on a page, like columns of text, or you could have like maybe text wrap around an image to like kind of add, I guess, more to your design and layout of a page. So let's look at the class attribute real quick. And it says here the class attribute specifies one or more class names for an HTML element, meaning you can use it as much as you want. So this is how you would write it. So in CSS, like if you want to target a specific class, instead of the hashtag, like we do for IDs, we do period, okay, for city. So let's look at their example and try it ourselves. Okay, so here's a good example of where they have multiple H2s, but they only want this style, like this bold red style, to be affecting 3 out of the 4, okay? So here you couldn't use an H2, background color tomato, color white, padding 10, because all of it would be affected. So they need a way to target some but not all, and that's the perfect way to think about using a class. So just to show you, if I change this to the H2, run, oh, that pops into there, and that's actually not what I want. Okay, I want that top one to be like typical H2 text, big, bold, and black, not red, white. Okay, so I'm going to put that back, city. All right, and there we go. Okay, so now it's back to how I want it. Now I could even do this to some of my paragraphs. So let's try this. I'm going to write, so let's go. Sometimes with a class, you like write the style first and then apply it. But let's go ahead and we'll add to the P's. I'm just going to write, so it's class equals text. All right, so I'm going to copy that now and add that to 3 of my 4 paragraphs, just like kind of like what they did. All right, so if I were to add something to my text, so I'll do period text, and let's do what they did. Okay, I'm actually going to take that. All right, and let's say the background color is gray, and the color of my text, we don't want it to be white. Actually, that could be kind of cool. Yeah, let's leave it white. And the padding, just to be different, is say, oh, we'll say 20 pixels. Okay, and there we go. So 3 out of my 4 paragraphs have a different style. Okay, so the perfect way to target some of your HTML elements, sorry, I said that weird, and not the others. Okay, it's a perfect workaround and it's what it's made for.